Arsenal Fan TV America, welcome back. Another episode today. It's a win, a first win for the season against who? Man City, the team I would say, dislike the most now since what happened last year. But this year, we were able to start off on the right foot. Community Shield, we took it seriously, and we won. Penalty kicks, yeah, but we won. I think I like the most the way Arsenal came back and didn't give up till the last minute. They kept their composure. I loved the attitude of the players. I thought they played a great game. Now, let's go straight to who started for us today. Yes, it is the first game. Yes, it is Community Shield game, but you could see how much it meant to both coaches, to Mikel Arteta and or Pep Guardiola. You can also see how much it means to the players. You can see how much it means to the 45,000 Arsenal fans and the 45,000 Man City fans. Of course, Wembley Stadium, it's a 90,000. It's the main stadium in England, and that's the stadium that holds the Community Shield every year. And of course, this is their main stadium for the national team also. So the winner from the league and the winner from the FA Cup, they meet. Of course, Man City won both. So the runner-up from the Premier League, which was Arsenal, meets with them today. And for us, it's always a revenge game when we play against Man City. It's obvious that we want to win. It's obvious that we were pissed off because we were on top of the league for how many days? I don't want to even say it again. They come in at the end, they take 36 points of 36 points while we collected only 24 from the same amount of games. And they won the league. They basically stole the league from beneath us. So we didn't like that. All Arsenal fans were waiting on this, and you could see the stadium. You could see the people in the stadium, on TV, or if you're there, you could see how the stadium erupted. It really did. You could see the camera shaking if you saw it on TV at Wembley. It was unbelievable scenes when Arsenal scored. And I loved the attitude. I loved how we didn't give up, basically. You're playing the best of the best. They won the Champions League. They won the Premier League. They won the FA Cup. So now you're playing the best football team in Europe. But we came acting like we are the most expensive squad now, acting like someone that's ready to challenge for Premier League. No excuses for Mikel Arteta or his men. And they're not giving themselves any today, or they didn't give themselves any excuses today. They just went at it. First half, as you saw, Arsenal came in sitting back. It's okay. It's part of the plan. But before we go on to talk about the plan and the game and what happened, again, I just wanted to remind you who we were playing and how much it meant to us, to the fans, that we beat City. First game, season opener, before Saturday, of course, Premier League opener in front of Nottingham Forest, and hopefully Arsenal, we start with another win here, a solid win that puts us on the right path. So let's start by the starting lineups. Of course, in goal, we had Ramsdale, our number one. And I know there's a lot of talk, so I'm going to stop right here before I continue. Talk about Ramsdale for a little bit. We have now in the mix, we're talking to Brentford, goalkeeper, their number one, David Raya. And David Raya is a very, very good goalkeeper. And I say that because he's not only a good shot stopper or, a diver and all that. No, he's also very good on his, feet. And a goalkeeper now, one of his most important traits must be how good he is or she is on their foot. Makes a tremendous amount of difference because goalkeepers, they have now to play as an additional player in the back most if not all the time when you're building. Their distribution has to be right on the money. We know Ramsdale's very good at that, but every once in a while he has these sudden moves, let's say. However, with that said, David Raya's coming in. Hopefully, we put a £23 million bid for him. Brentford is still looking at it. Didn't give an answer. But I know for a fact, even if we get him, that Mikel Arteta will still go ahead with starting Ramsdale. Competition is great. It's good to have two goalkeepers that are really good. But I think Ramsdale starts. We'll see what happened with Raya's situation. Now we move to the four in the back. On the right-hand side, we started our normal from last year. Became normal. Right back now, Ben White. Next to him is William Saliba. Gabriel in the middle. They're center defenders, right and left. And then on the left-hand side, the left back started Jurien Timber. You're going to tell me he's not a natural here, right? You got Kieran Tierney. He's waiting on Zinchenko. Hey, that's good. We have Zinchenko, KT. Tomiyasu played as a left back a little bit last year also. He was okay. I wouldn't start him. He wouldn't be my first choice. But Jurien Timber, he was awesome. I thought he was the best player on Arsenal. I thought for the whole entire game, minute for minute, the young man wins. He plays in the back very, very well. He defends very well. He's close to defenders. He doesn't isolate himself. He runs, gets the ball before his marker, which is very, very important. He triggers before his marker, so he goes and cuts the pass. He's shutting down that right-hand side for City, which is a dangerous side. It's not just a side. It's Man City, and it's very dangerous, but he did shut it. He also, up front, he will stretch the team. He will pull the ball away also to midfield and start there. Very clever runs. He's available. He makes up his ground. So, again, a tremendous footballer. I think Arteta took him out because he ran his face off. He ran a lot, so Arteta was like, hey, listen, I don't want him injured. I want to keep him for the upcoming Premier League, Champions League, everything, coming at us. We have a lot of games. Arsenal Football Club is going to play a lot of games. And I like the depth we have very, very much. So that's the four in the back. And, of course, outside also you have KT, you have Holding, Tomiyasu sitting outside, Jacob Kivor, four other defenders, sitting outside, which is great to see. Great to hear Arsenal have depth now. So we go to midfield, which I really liked the way Mikel Arteta started today with Thomas Partey and Declan Rice, both as holding midfielders. Why? Because you have Man City as an opponent. If we're playing any not top 4, top 6 Premier League team, right, that like to not keep the ball in front of Arsenal, right? Arsenal's going to keep the ball. So if I keep the ball in front of these teams, then I need more attacking midfielders. But in front of City, they're going to keep the ball more than I will. So I need someone to stop them. Who is going to stop them? My two holding midfielders, which today was Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. They played very, very well together. On top of them was Martin Odegaard that came and defended also. And now we go left wing, 3 up front, Martinelli, the usual Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side, the lethal. This young man has a lot more to offer. And in the middle, false number 9, I would say, or the guy that was trying to play the number 9 was Kai Havertz. Gabby Jesus is out, yes, minor knee injury. A minor knee injury could be, a week to 3 weeks. But we don't know how minor. Maybe it's a procedure. Maybe it's a little something. But the news is he's not going to be out for a long time. We'll see when he's back. Hopefully he's back soon. Also sitting outside, we had Emil Smith-Rowe. We had Eddie Nketiah. We also had Fabio Vieira that came in. Of course, we're going to talk about, substitutes and who came in. Matt Turner was our second goalkeeper. And, of course, Leandro Trossard was outside and came in. The first half, let's just talk about the first half, how Arsenal came about. Again, we came out of the gate sitting back, which is understandable. We're playing against the best of the best. So they're going to have the ball. Sit back, and when you get your time, you try to get up with the ball and keep it, or you try to play it up front and try to snatch a goal up early. I think Mikel Arteta started this way, and he knew, now he has experience against City, that they will keep the ball. So now, instead of trying to change the way they play or force the way we play, we just said, okay, now we're going to stop you from playing. And I think that's what Mikel Arteta did, and he was successful with it. He was successful with it because he had people like Timber, like Ben White, pressuring all the way up front and coming all the way back and defending. You also have midfielders like Declan Rice and Thomas Partey that were going all over the field together. The one mistake from the midfield, which cost us the goal the second half, that one mistake is because for a second, we just were out of position, right? I like the way Arsenal connected together. Kai Havertz, I'm not going to tell you he did bad. I'm not going to tell you he did exceptional. I thought he was fatigued. A lot of preseason for him. I think he had the most minute in all Arsenal players. Kai Havertz, or per what I saw. And now, you put him in a game like that. You start him up front. Wembley is a huge field. Huge. The biggest you can get in a football field. And him running up and back and forth. And then the second half, he took him and put him, instead of an attacker, he put him as a midfielder. So we saw a lot from Kai Havertz and a lot of diversity. And I like that. And you can build on that. Of course, he's new. still finding, his feet, his teammates, who he's playing with. All that plays a part in how, he develops and how fast he develops with the team, correct? But I thought overall he did good. I know a lot of people saying, well, he missed a couple of chances and opportunities he should have scored. Hey, a lot of people should have scored. A lot of people miss. It's just, how you learn from your mistakes and you become better. Today, the team won. So at the end, what matters is the team, and the team won. And I think he contributed on a positive note. Now, moving to the second half, one mistake, like I was talking about a minute ago, Thomas Partey was not able to get to the ball as quick as Phil Foden, that turned him right in Man City's midfield. But of course, Foden pushed the ball, like the book said, diagonally, and went all the way to pass it into the 18th to their young man, Cole Palmer. 77th minute that was. Just took it with his left foot beautifully over Ramsdale. Man City's 1-0. Of course, our heart stops. Arsenal fans didn't stop in the stadium. They kept going. They kept to believe. Mikel Arteta outside got a yellow card for some reason from very weird referee and very weird refereeing today's game. I saw Howard Webb sitting in the stadium looking. We saw inconsistency today. We're still starting the season. I know it's not as important. This game is not as important, but it's still important. It's still a game. And we saw very, very bad referee most of the game, let's put it this way. And at the end, he gives a card to Mikel Arteta. Hey, listen, hopefully they get better. Hopefully people look at that. Hopefully we don't just brush it aside and say, hey, stop, the referee. No. You know what? We can better that. We can get better referees. We can hold them accountable to these mistakes. At least discuss it with them. Tell them, hey, listen, you shouldn't have done that in this situation, or you should have done this in that situation. Or at least talk to them about consistency. If you're going to do this with this team, then you do that with that team. If that team pulls a shirt, you give them a card. Then if this team pulls a shirt, you give them a card. That's all we're asking for. But again, I saw Arsenal not treated fairly. That's why I had to say something. Hey, it is what it is. Let's move to our substitutes. Trossard, KT, Kieran Tierney came in. Eddie Nketiah came in. Emil Smith-Rowe and Fabio Vieira. I want to stop and talk about Emil Smith-Rowe a little bit. Why? Because we saw the young Englishman that was being on sale at some point, and some clubs were looking at him. We saw that that's someone we should not let go. Played tremendously, pressured, went and took the ball off of Man City, didn't let them get around him. A lot of runs, lots of effort from him. I think you could see his body developed already. The young man is looking fit, looking good, looking strong. Great player. I want to see a lot more of him. Kai Havertz was not as fit, I thought, towards the end of the game. So if we took him, I would have loved to see him out, midway or halftime, and then Emil Smith-Rowe coming in. Let's see how he plays up front. He's very, very talented. Just get him the ball. He's a good finisher. I think he's a very good finisher. And if we let him play up front, he can do some damage for us. Anyways, he came in 87th minute, and like I said, the ref gave another 10, so he played a good, 15 minutes or so. And Arsenal comes towards the end of the game, 90 plus minute. You're talking about 101st minute. On the 11th minute of overtime, Trossard, because Man City simply made a mistake finally, couldn't clear the ball far enough, and did a second mistake right after that by not closing, the Arsenal player when he got it, which was Trossard at that point. He just shot on goal. It deflected twice and ended up being Akanji's own goal. For Arsenal to erupt Wembley. The stadium erupted. If you were watching the game on TV, the cameras were shaking. What a scene. What great scenes from Arsenal fans. You could see how much they enjoyed that goal, specifically towards the end of the game, especially in front of Man City. You know how much we want to beat Man City at any given point. And that goal took us to penalty kicks. Well, what happened overtime? Community Shield rules, there is no overtime. If there is a draw, you go straight to penalties. And we did. We went straight to penalties, and we were able to beat Manchester City that failed to score. Two of them, one of them, Kevin De Bruyne, hit the post. The second one, Ramsdale was able to get it. So 4-1, what a win for Arsenal. Community Shield is ours. Come on, you Gunners. I liked how Arsenal came back. I liked how they stood up to Man City, how strong we were able to fight. It's good to see players like Gabriel or Timber or Declan Rice fighting for the ball. Even Kai Havertz, they're going at it. They're trying to fight for the ball. It pushes the whole entire team to fight more for the ball and get the ball. Ben White was great. Again, lots of players, even Kieran Tierney when he came in for Yuri and Timber, that ran his face off. That's why Mikel Arteta had to take him out. Did great. So again, what a performance by Arsenal Football Club. Great job, ya Gunners, and what a start for the season. Next episode, we'll have it here midweek for you. We're going to talk about our expectations. So please do me a favor, write in the comments what team you think is going to win it all, Premier League. What do you expect from Arsenal? What are they going to end up? We're playing Premier League, Champions League football, Europe, FA Cup that we won 14 times. We won the FA Cup more than any other club in the land. And we're also going to play the Carabao Cup. So, which cup? The Carabao, or are we going to go FA Cup, oldest of all competitions in England and in the world as a football competition? Or are we going to win the Premier League? Or are we going to win it all with the Champions League? We don't know. But what we know for a fact, that is very exciting. Looking at today and looking at how we played and the excitement and how it meant to Mikel Arteta and how passionate everyone is, I love it. And I think we're seeing this today and the depth, and we're seeing what happened pre-season games. After seeing all that, I think we should go all the way, Arsenal, and this is it. We should really grab the Premier League title this year. Champions League, we're back in it. It's always, far-fetched, but don't doubt it. I have my hopes up, my dreams up, my belief is up, and my faith in this team. Come on, you Gunners. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and we'll see you next episode. Thank you.